Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Monday, March the 13th, the year's 2023, trading with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Walmal. Looks like we got a lot of price action happening right now. We're at the top of the hour. And looks like price is dropping.
Yeah, we've been kind of range bound today between 60 and the double O, or at least for since I've been awake in trading. But price is moving rather rapidly. We had a flip-flop box there. We could have taken it, but we've been risky because you would have been trading against the indicator too. However, because of that double O to 60 or 80, depending on how you're looking at it, that range there would have probably been a trade to go and take. I missed it. I didn't take it because we were starting this video up. That would have been a nice little place to go short. And you could have picked up, if you timed it perfectly, could have gotten 7 pips. But, nobody gets anything perfect.
Right.
In reality, I probably would have picked up 3 or 4 pips.
Yeah, so you were talking about the flip-flop box, so I assume you're back on M1.
I'm on M1, yes, sir. And if you look at M5, you got huge return bars. And they keep on getting filled, so it's just more indication that, if you get a huge return bar, it's happened, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 times it's filled them in, just in the last half hour or so, and so that just gives you a huge indication it's range bound. And there's nothing wrong with range bound. I know a lot of people say they want to trade with the trend, and fine, that's your method, it's your method. But if you got a range bound market and it's got a big enough that range it's going over, you can make a bunch of pips.
Yeah, you sure can.
Back and forth. So now that trade would have been worth, could have picked up 12 pips on that trade.
Yeah, for some strange reason, my broker feed seems to be frozen. Not sure why. It's just sitting there.
Yeah, I'm down to 83 for reference.
Yeah, mine's stuck on 89 at the time. I'm not sure why. Oh, Harry, now it just moved.
You have a problem with your broker at the top of the hour.
Oh no, this is the other broker.
Oh, okay. And it's the TRO infringement.
Yeah.
So now we got down to, we didn't get quite down to 80. We missed getting down to 80 this time by, I don't know, probably, 2 pips or so. But I didn't take that trade because I didn't get a trade that day. I didn't get a signal. See, these range bound trades, I want a signal. I don't want to just go and, hey, I hit a magic number, let's go and flip it the other way. I know a lot of traders do it that way and make a bunch of money, but the thing is, for me, I'm a little bit more conservative. I want it to hit the top of the range, and I also want to go in or the bottom of the range, and I also want to have something else going in my direction, like some type of other signal happening there.
Right, and your other signal would be the indicator too.
It would be indicated too. I want to see the dot there, yeah. So I'm sitting here waiting for a trade, seeing if anything shows up. That's the thing about trading. You sit here and stare at this thing going up and down, and sometimes we can do it. I've done it sometimes for an hour, 2 hours, doing absolutely nothing.
Right.
I never got my signal.
Oh wow, look at that! It just painted. Well, like I said, for some strange reason today, this broker's, because I don't have anything else running on the computer, so I'm not sure why it's doing what it's doing.
Well, it drew that candle pretty quick, but it drew it probably I want to say 8 or 9 ticks. So it did draw it quickly, but it wasn't like it painted it.
Right.
Let's see if we don't break this level down here about 82 or so, which is where we got stuck the last 2 candles. And if it doesn't get stuck, then that just means that our range has condensed even further. It's got to be a tighter range, which is, you know, if you're a trend trader, that smells of opportunity for you, because that means it's going to come out of that and it's going to explode out of that.
Well, we got about a 20 pip range, so, and it seems to be mostly to the downside below the 2100 level. So to me, that seems like there must be a bunch of stops or a bunch of people loading up at that area.
Yeah, for some reason they don't want it, for whatever reason, they don't want it to go above that double O, or at least stay above that double O.
Right. Hey, what time do banks open there in New York? Do you know? 10 o'clock, 9:30?
9:30.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if maybe, just maybe, because of the bank problems, if that's going to affect the market big time in about a half an hour or so.
Yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me, but I really don't know if it will or not. I mean, there's so much uncertainty in all of the, financial markets.
Yeah, because I noticed yesterday there was a huge move up on the pound.
Yep. It was like an 80 pip move on 1 hour.
Yeah. So I looked, there wasn't any news at that time. So it wasn't, let me put it this way, there wasn't any scheduled news on the FOREX calendars.
Got back down to that 82 level again.
Yeah.
Let's see if it breaks it again. See if it breaks it this time.
Well, you've got a flip-flop box trade here, don't you?
I do, but the reason why I'm not taking it is because we've bounced off this 80 back up the other direction. So to me, that seems a little risky. I just, I wouldn't want to take that trade, because I don't want to turn it into Mr. Inflection Point.
Yeah, I hear you on that. So I guess then in your case, you'd be more like you're only looking for reversals off the range right now.
Yeah, until this range gets broken, yeah. I mean, it's held now for about what? So let me just measure it so it can be a little bit accurate. But this is now held for a half hour, and which is not a long period of time, but on the 1 minute it's a pretty substantial amount of time. And, it's bounced off those areas, pretty substantially, meaning it went there, bounced right off of it, went to the other side, tried to put in a shelf, bounced off of it, went to the top again, bounced off of it. So it's just going back and forth, and it's being respected. So until that gets, disrespected, I'm not willing to take a trade. Now, here we got a flip-flop box to the upside potentially, but I got to wait a minute, or actually 38 seconds, because I need that second dot minimum.
Right.
So hopefully we get it, and we can actually go and take a trade here and see what happens.
So are you going to wait to see if price drops into the box, or if it's within X number of pips of the box?
If I'm close to the box, whether I'm inside the box or outside the box, and as long as I get an open above the indicator 2, I'm going to go long.
Okay.
I went long.
You got your second dot?
Yeah. I went long at 87.8. And I may get burned here, and that's okay. The nervous, the more anxious waiting.
Right.
I'm up a pip. Two pips. No, I'm not.
Well, now you got your third dot. Let's see if it makes the run. If the third dot, oh, it went the other way.
Yep, went the other way. Here we go.
There you go. You're
out.
There's your third dot.
I got 3 pips.
Nice shot.
Now, probably the better thing would have been done to do is actually stay in this trade because of that range. Because my guess is that it's going to get up to probably at minimum 97, and then I'll make a decision whether it's going to go up to the double O again. But that's neither here nor there. If I get, what happened was it went up and actually saw 4 pips on my terminal window. And what I did was when it started to drop back down, I went and just punched out. And when I punched out, I got 3 pips. So that's the reason why I jumped out. And that wasn't an emotional thing. Some people say, well, you're just jumping out because of emotion. No, I'm not jumping out because of emotion. I'm jumping out because I'm a scalper. Maybe not true to the actual definition of what an actual scalper is, but basically I'm scalping the market here. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking what I can while I can. And, to me, it's not worth sticking around to see, whether or not it's going to go and give me more than that. So my rule of thumb is if it's moving in my direction, I stay in the trade. But if it starts moving against me, then I get out. Now, on the other hand, hit that number I said that gotta get to. Now we'll make a decision whether it goes to double O. But the thing is, now if this thing had not dropped down like it would have, I would have stayed in. And if I'm up 4, 5, 6 pips, I give a little bit more leeway, meaning I'm willing to let it go against me a little bit. Not against me like I go negative, but go against me where I give some of those pips up. And there's the 2100. So that, potentially, that could have been a really nice trade there. Could have been, a 10-pip trade. But I can't get upset. We talk about this all the time, Hero, about this idea that you can't cut these things. You got to be objective. You got to be cool-handed. Look at this now. And I could sit there and beat myself up and say, if I only would have stayed in that trade, I could have been up 15 pips now. I could have been up 17 pips now. And all you got was three pips. All I got was 3 pips. But based on the way I trade, that's all I was looking at. And I got to go and not beat myself up. We talked about that last week, not beating yourself up.
Right.
The market does what the market does.
Yeah, because that's trade in hindsight. And that the door to the kitchen opened up and here came the waiter, the server with a huge big pot of shrimp and you only took 3. And then you got out of line.
But I can't look at it that way, It's that thing where, for me, I'm looking for, my goal in the beginning when we first started talking was to get 10 pips a day. My goal now is I want a minimum of 17 pips a day.
Right.
I've upped it a little bit.
Right.
And 3 pips, I'm 1/5 of the way there on one trade. So
right.
For a scalper, that's not bad.
Right. So, fellow traders, I hope you enjoyed that session, Trading with Walmal. And once again, you see how he does it, you see how I do it. And just remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.